Hi, kindergartners. Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Clark here. And today we are going to do some nonfiction reading. Anytime that we do nonfiction reading, we know we want to get our brains ready to learn true facts and true information. We are going to read a magazine article. If you picked up a packet at school, you probably have this. This is the magazine that we're going to read together today. We're going to read the inside article. Most of us, though, probably don't have this. So instead, you can read along with me on my screen, okay? When we read this article today, your job is to pay really close attention to the photographs and the words because they are going to teach you about a butterfly's life cycle. Okay, this article is called A Caterpillar Grows Up. And when we're reading this article today, we are going to learn about how a butterfly grows up. So how it grows and changes. After we read the article together, you can share what you're learning. You can share your learning by doing some drawing and some writing, okay? And so I'll talk to you about that after. I'm going to take a moment and share my screen though so that you can see the magazine on my screen really clearly, okay? So just a moment while I get this up for you. Thank you for being so patient. All right, here you can see the inside article that we're going to read together. Please put your eyes up here at the top where you will see the heading. We know that the heading tells us the name of the article. If you can join with me, please read with me. The heading says, From Egg to Butterfly. So we will learn about how a butterfly grows. It begins as an egg and it ends as a butterfly. So we'll learn how that happens, okay? When we're reading nonfiction, in my classroom, we don't always go in order. Sometimes we read the parts or the sections that interest us the most. But right now in this article, it's important that we read in order because we're going to be learning the order or the steps of a butterfly's life cycle. Okay, so we're going to start right here. And remember, your job is to look at the photographs and listen and think carefully about what the words say so that you can learn about how a butterfly grows and changes. All right, so let's look right here at this photograph in the yellow box. Do you see the section that I'm talking about? If you look really closely, you can see a leaf. And on the leaf, you can see something. Do you see that? Let's sound out this little section right here. Let's sound that word out together. Get ready. Egg, egg. So here is an egg. The photograph already is teaching me about where a butterfly's egg is laid. Think about that. Tell yourself what the photograph taught you about where the butterfly's egg is laid. If somebody is with you, tell them. The photographs can teach us a lot. Yeah, you probably said a butterfly lays its egg on a leaf because the photograph shows that. All right, let's read together. I'm going to put my little arrow here and you can follow with your eyes. If you do have your own article at home because you picked up a packet, please point with your finger as we read together. Get ready. A caterpillar starts in an egg. Do you think it can fly yet? And then it says yes or no. Do you think it can fly yet? Let's look. Is there anything on the egg that would make it seem like it can fly? No, no. It says here that it starts in an egg. So no, it cannot fly. The words and photographs show us that. Let's go to the next section. First, look carefully at the photograph. Notice what you see. Ooh, I see an animal here. It looks very different. You're probably thinking about where it came from. This says caterpillar. Where is that caterpillar? Look at the photograph. Tell someone. Okay, let's read and learn more about this stage. Put your eyes on the word the where I'm pointing. Get ready. The caterpillar hatches from the egg. Do you think it can fly yet? Think about that. Look at the photograph to get some more information. Is there anything on the caterpillar's body that would help it to fly? No. We're learning about the butterfly's life cycle. So first, remind yourself what it was. And then remind yourself, hatched from the egg. Let's see about this next part. This is a science word. This is an interesting scientific word to teach us about the next stage in the butterfly's life cycle. Look at the photograph to learn a little bit. Notice where this is hanging. Tell yourself, oh, interesting, this is a chrysalis. Say that, chrysalis. This word says chrysalis. Notice where the chrysalis is. You're just learning already right now about where a chrysalis is located. It looks like it's on the branch. Look at the photograph of the caterpillar again. Do you notice that the caterpillar's body is in a shape? What shape is that? Or it's I'm sorry, not shape, it's like a letter. What letter does that look like? Looks like a J. They kind of form their bodies into that position, and then look at what's around it. Isn't that interesting? Let's read to find out about the chrysalis. Put your eyes or finger on the word the, and let's read together. Get ready. The caterpillar turns into a chrysalis. Do you think it can fly yet? Use the illustration or the photograph to learn. Can it fly in the chrysalis? No, there's nothing there on its body that could help it fly. Go to the next stage. You know what this is. Butterfly. This says, look at the butterfly. Is there anything on its body that might help it to fly? Let's touch the word A. Please read along with me. Get ready. A butterfly comes out. It has wings. Do you think it can fly yet? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yes, it can fly. Great. Boys and girls, look back at the photograph and think about the words. Tell somebody or tell your own quiet brain something interesting that you learned about the butterfly's life cycle. Maybe you learned a new word like chrysalis. Maybe you learned about the shape or the position the caterpillar will put its body in before it becomes a chrysalis. Maybe you learned about where the chrysalis is located. Maybe you are thinking about where the egg is laid, where a butterfly lays its egg. Tell somebody some interesting information that you learned about the butterfly's life cycle. I was thinking about how the butterfly lays its egg on a leaf. That's interesting. I learned that from the photograph. Today, your job was to learn from the photograph and the words some true information about a butterfly's life cycle. Down below, we can learn a little bit more. Let's read this next part. You know this word well, word do. Look with your eyes in the blue section and follow and read with me. Get ready. Do all butterflies look the same? The photograph can tell you. Let's learn more from the words. No. Read with me. Butterflies can be many colors and patterns. Which is your favorite? I kind of like this one here. Point to the one that you think is your favorite. Tell yourself, are butterflies always the same color? The photo shows that, and the word said no. Are butterflies do they have the same pattern on their wings? We learned that information from the photos and from the words. No, this one has stripes, this one has dots, and it said in the words that they can be many different colors and patterns. so we can learn true information about these butterflies. All right, kindergartners, um, thank you for reading along with me. If you have this at home, I would encourage you to reread it for your fluency. That means read it again. You might be thinking about what your voice should sound like when you see a question mark. Or you might be thinking about what your voice should sound like when you see an exclamation mark. Please keep this and reread it. You might notice verbal words in it. If you don't, that's okay. If you don't have your own, you can always go back and reread this again on my screen. But what I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to share what you learned. So you learned some true information from the photographs and from the words in our nonfiction article. So here is a page that your mom or dad or someone might have printed out for you, and it says, from egg to butterfly. Use the information you learned from the article to draw and label the butterfly's life cycle. Here are some labels. This says butterfly. You might think about where in the life cycle was it called a butterfly? Was that at the beginning? Yeah. Think about the egg. Where was the caterpillar? This says cocoon. It's another word for chrysalis. So think about where that should be on the butterfly's life cycle and use this to write the label here and then draw. Think about what you can include. Think about what you saw in the photos. You learned where the egg was. You learned what the caterpillar's body will look like before it becomes a chrysalis. You learned where that chrysalis is located. You might draw that branch that it'll be hanging on. And then you learned about what a butterfly looks like, and you can think about some of the colors or patterns that we saw in the photographs, okay? But think carefully back to the article and share what you learned about a butterfly's life cycle. At the bottom, it says the most interesting stage in the butterfly's life cycle is when it is, what stage of the life cycle was the most interesting to you? Finish that sentence. I think this is interesting because. Why did you think it was the egg was the most interesting stage? Or why did you think the chrysalis was the most interesting stage? Or the caterpillar? Or the butterfly? Write your thinking. And then please go ahead and if you want, share your thinking with your teacher. You could take a picture of your work if you wanted to, or share your thinking with somebody in your house. They would love to see what you learned from that nonfiction article. All right. Thank you for joining and reading. Great work, kindergartners. We're all so proud of the hard work that you're doing. Keep up the great work. Bye.